It's possible that Europe and the United States could end up in a serious conflict, and the reason is only and only Greenland. Yes, you heard that right. This entire story escalated when US President Donald Trump said that the world cannot be safe unless America gains full control over Greenland. European countries immediately reacted, saying that Greenland's future belongs only to the people of Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark, not the United States, because this Arctic island holds strategic value with mineral resources, military surveillance advantages, and shipping routes. In response, Trump announced major economic pressure. He imposed a 10% tariff on 8 European nations, which could rise to 25% in June, saying these measures would continue until America gets a complete deal over Greenland. On the other side, Denmark's prime minister declared Europe cannot be blackmailed, and thousands of people in Denmark and Greenland took to the streets, holding signs like "Greenland is not for sale." Things got more serious when some European countries sent limited military personnel to Greenland, while NATO and the European Union called an emergency meeting. What if NATO attacked the United States? It sounds impossible, but that's exactly why the Greenland crisis is so dangerous. If NATO countries ever turned their weapons on the US over Greenland, the first thing that would die isn't a battlefield. It would be NATO itself. NATO only works because its members promise never to fight each other. The moment that rule breaks, the alliance collapses. There is no backup plan for NATO versus NATO. And militarily, Europe wouldn't win. The United States has global air power, naval dominance, and nuclear deterrence. No European commander would realistically order troops to fire first, not because they agree with Washington, but because escalation would spiral out of control. So if tensions reached that point, the fight wouldn't look like war. It would look like pressure. Europe would isolate the US politically, block access to bases, push sanctions, and turn global opinion against Washington. Courts, markets, and diplomacy would become the battlefield. And here's the real danger. If NATO breaks, the people who benefit aren't in Greenland. They're watching from the outside. Russia gains room in the Arctic. China gains leverage over Europe. And the US loses the alliance that made it dominant in the first place.
Europe just pulled off the fastest military retreat in NATO history, and it only took one tariff threat from Trump. Germany, France, Sweden sent troops to Greenland. Acting tough, we're protecting Denmark. We're standing firm. Germany deployed 15 soldiers, led by a rear admiral. France sent mountain infantry that lasted exactly 44 hours. Trump announced 10% tariffs on 8 European countries, rising to 25%. And guess what? Germany's elite team got orders Sunday morning. Cancel everything. You're flying home at noon. 44 hours. That's less time than a weekend trip. Here's the best part. Germany invented the Blitzkrieg. Now they're executing the fastest retreat in modern history. Europe spent decades lecturing about standing up to bullies. Then one tariff threat, and they're gone. The German Defense Ministry tried spinning it. We completed our mission. Very satisfactory. Yeah, so satisfactory you canceled all your meetings and ran home. Trump didn't send troops, didn't fire a shot, just threatened their car exports. Suddenly, Greenland's not worth defending. This is economic warfare in 2026. No bombs, just tariffs. And NATO's second largest economy runs home after 2 days.